Cycling computers have really become an almost standard requirement for many performance and enthusiast cyclists. There's something quite enjoyable about seeing how fast you're riding and poring over the data after a ride. And there are plenty of good cycle computers on the market. So to help steer you through this bewildering choice, we've picked 6 cycle computers that we've tested here at road.cc, all of which are good choices in their own ways. What you want from a cycle computer and how much you're prepared to spend will dictate the computer you go for, naturally. What all these computers have in common though is GPS. It's a technology that's transformed the cycle computer, providing easy wireless setup and accurate speed and distance recording. So let's power into 6 of the best GPS cycling computers. The most recently launched new Garmin is this beast, the Edge 1030. It's got a bigger screen and longer run times than the previous model and compatibility with Bluetooth smart sensors, along with several interesting new features such as rider-to-rider messaging and training load analysis. The new Edge 1030 gets a 3.5-inch high-resolution capacitive touchscreen and ambient light sensors automatically adjust the screen brightness to suit the riding conditions. The battery life has been extended to a claimed 20 hours, and there's a new Garmin Charge integrated battery pack accessory to double the runtime to 40 hours for longer rides. We found though that 20 hours is the best case scenario and didn't manage to get that in real world use. So how you use it will dictate how long the battery lasts for you. The Edge 1030 can also be used with wireless ANT+ sensors and with Bluetooth smart sensors. It can be used to display data from speed and cadence sensors, for example, heart rate monitors, power meters, and so on. You can use it with Shimano Di2 electronic shifting, SRAM Red ETAP, and Campagnolo EPS. It can also serve as a dashboard for Garmin's Varia smart lights and rear-view radar. The chief reason for choosing an Edge 1030 over a cheaper unit is its navigational compatibility, and it's there that it has a lot to offer. As well as the ability to display courses created elsewhere and imported, the Edge 1030 allows you to browse the preloaded Garmin cycle map, search for particular places, and create your own course on the unit itself. One interesting feature is Garmin's Treadline popularity routing, which uses millions of miles of Garmin Connect ride data to show the best on and off-road routes. Essentially, when you ask the Edge 1030 to take you from A to B, it will do so via the roads, or trails if that's what you want, most used by cyclists. The idea is that it keeps you on bike-friendly routes given the seal of approval by others. The WAHOO ELEMNT Bolt is a compact and aero GPS bike computer that offers a vast amount of usable information, navigational compatibility, and an excellent battery life at a reasonable price. The Bolt fits almost seamlessly onto a smooth edged mount that sits directly in front of and level with your stem. They say it's the first ever aero cycling computer, but we don't have a wind tunnel here, so we can't really vouch for its drag efficiency. On to more important matters, the ELEMNT Bolt can communicate via ANT+, Bluetooth Smart and Wi-Fi, so it's compatible with iPhone, Android and popular apps like Strava. It can speak to most heart rate, speed, cadence, power, muscle oxygen sensors, the list goes on, so you can have all this information displayed on the screen. You can set it to so phone calls, messages and email alerts pop up on the display as you ride, or you can switch off alerts altogether so that you're not disturbed when you're in the zone. The ELEMNT Bolt works alongside WAHOO's existing companion app on your smartphone. You don't necessarily need to ride with your smartphone in your pocket, but the app is a central part of the system, allowing you to set up your profile, customise computer display pages, even routes, review past rides and more. You'll probably only actually touch the ELEMNT Bolt when you're on the bike, doing everything else when you're off the bike via the app. So to sum up, the WAHOO ELEMNT Bolt is a highly capable bike computer that, along with WAHOO's companion app, is simple to set up and use. Stages is best known as maker of Team Sky's preferred power app, but has now added a cycling computer to its range. As you'd expect, it's intended to work seamlessly with its power meters and provides a wide array of data on a clear, bright, large computer screen that rather cleverly can be mounted in 2 different orientations. The dash is made from aluminium and feels substantial. It has a 2.7-inch LCD screen and weighs just 99 grams, while the battery is good for between 25 and 30 hours, a lot longer than most Garmin's. The dash has an IXP7 rating, which means it's protected against rain, which is always good given the weather that we're having in this country at the minute. You can customise up to 5 pages of data on the dash, choosing not only what information is displayed and the number of fields, but also the size of each field. When you increase the size of a data field, the number of fields available to you shrinks, of course. There's only a finite amount of space here. You can configure the pages on the dash unit itself, but it's much easier to do it on the Stages Link website and then sync the dash to that. The navigational compatibilities are limited though. Dash can give you a basic breadcrumb route, and Stages says that the push notifications for turn-by-turn directions from a Bluetooth-enabled smartphone will be added in the future with a firmware update. But there's no detailed mapping, and the potential for a black and white screen of this kind is always going to be limited. But the dash isn't really about navigation, it's focused on helping you train by power. And if that's what you want from a cycling computer, then the dash is a solid choice. The Polar M460 is a nifty little device with plenty of advanced features, a very good companion app in the Polar Flow, and great Strava integration. 2 years after the M450, Polar has swapped out its smallest GPS unit in its lineup with a refined M460. It's smaller and lighter, all black now instead of black and white, and there's now integration of Strava Live segments into the device. If you haven't used Strava Live segments before, I'd recommend you try it out. You'll need a premium account to take advantage, but you can get a free trial with the purchase of the Polar M460. It's great fun, and on a Polar device, it's probably the best experience you can have with it. The M460 tells you when a segment is approaching, counts down, and in real time tells you your results and whether you got a personal best, king or queen of the mountain. You can have up to 4 data fields at once on the screen, and 6 screens in total for each sport profile, which for those of you who are quick at maths is 24 different metrics. The screen isn't the biggest, and it can sometimes feel a bit cluttered and difficult to make sense of at times. Another downside is that it uses GPS only and not the GLONASS system simultaneously like Garmin's do, which means that you'll experience more small dropouts compared with GPS GLONASS combo computers. But overall the accuracy is pretty good. The claimed battery life is 16 hours using all the functionality, and based on my experience, I'd say that's pretty much spot on using both a heart rate and the GPS. It's better than the majority of its competition. With the sticking point being a lack of ANT+ connectivity though, not everyone will get on with it. If you're only using Bluetooth sensors, then it's not really a problem for you. Now you might remember that last year we tested XPLOVA's X5 GPS cycling computer. And it did pretty well really, adding some video functionality to what is a well-specced GPS. But the world of tech isn't one to stand still, and there's a new version of the X5, cannily dubbed the X5 Evo. It's got a new interface, internal memory has been doubled, and there's a lot more video capability. Although sadly there's no more resolution, it's still 720p. XPLOVA have dropped the SIM card slot too, which wasn't really a lot of use if we're honest. And the SIM isn't the only thing they've dropped. The X5 Evo is £379.99, £70 cheaper than the original version. And you can get it for a fair bit less if you shop around, meaning it's a lot more competitive against its natural rivals, the bigger Garmin Edge units. The LEZYNE Mini GPS computer is an easy to use option that gives you basic ride information on your handlebar, along with the ability to upload, store and analyse your rides on LEZYNE's GPS route website. If you're a bit of a technophobe or you aren't really that interested in masses of ride measurements, the LEZYNE Mini GPS might be a good choice for you, because it's pretty simple to use. You fix the computer mount to your handlebar or stem with a couple of O-rings, attach the computer on top, switch it on, wait a few seconds for a GPS fix, and you're good to go. It's that simple. The single screen is semi-customizable in that the menu allows you to select whether you have 2, 3 or 4 data fields shown on the screen. The Mini GPS is a micro USB rechargeable and you get up to 10 hours of use between charges. It also says it will store up to 100 hours of data, and you'll get an alert to tell you when it's almost full. The trade-off is that you can't connect any other wireless devices to the computer, not even a heart rate monitor, nor do you get any of the navigational features here, which might be fine for some of you, but a limiting factor for others. It really does depend on how much data you want when you're cycling. So there you have it, 6 cycling computers that range from the data heavy to the really simple. Which one's for you? Well, that's down to your price and requirements. Give this video a like if you do in fact like it, subscribe if you haven't already, and as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.